Everyone says that marry me chicken will get you a ring. Well, today we're going to test that theory. This might take 4 hours, but if this works, it's going to change my life. Okay, Aaron, I need you to be honest with me. If I make you this meal from scratch today, are you going to propose to me? We're not making pizza. We're making pasta. I used to make pasta with plain white flour, and I have done that in the past. I've learned a lot about semolina flour. You gotta treat her right. You really do. You gotta, she's like a woman. You gotta treat her right, give her time, give her some tender loving care. And then she'll give you the goods. We need to build trust if you're gonna propose to me, babe. I know you trust me. Trust the semolina flour. Okay. Like a true Italian, I do it on the counter. Here's the thing. I also think I did 1.5 cups. I may not have. I normally do 1 egg, whole egg, to 1 cup of flour. Almost every time it ends up coming out a little dry. And semolina flour, because it's like a little bit more dense, and I want a little bit extra pasta this time, I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of semolina flour and 2 whole large eggs. I love when egg yolks are like really nice and orange like this. I also love the color they give pasta. I got the good eggs. In these trying times, in this economy, and then this is what I like to do. I like to break up my egg yolks with a fork and start to use the fork to incorporate the flour, because what I have a tendency to do, and don't tell Aaron this, he won't trust the process then, is I tend to splooge the eggs all over the counter and then regret my decisions and recuperate from there. So I'm trying to get better at keeping the center large and working my way out. So once I get to a place where I know this isn't going to roll off the counter, I use my bench scraper and we start to work everything in. Now, the issue is that I find that you tend to like jump the gun with fresh pasta dough. It feels very dry in the beginning, and you think you need to add more moisture. Be patient, because we also have to knead this for like a very solid amount of time. And you can't knead it with your mixer. I don't care. I don't care if you read that in a recipe book. I'm telling you now, as a fake Italian, you can't do that. As probably some type of Italian, you can't do that. You gotta feel it. You gotta touch it. It's time to get textile, okay? Or tactile. That's what I meant. I said textile. You were picking up what I was putting down, okay? Maybe this is a little crumbly. Should we experiment and add another egg? Here's the thing. When it comes to marry me ravioli, I think you should remember this, that if you're making this for someone and you really want to marry them, that they should love all of your hoopla, experiments, your weirdo-ness. They should love all the bits and bobs of you, right? Now, are there going to be parts of you they don't love? Yeah, no one's perfect. But if you want to get in here and say, hey, I'm going to try this, we're going to see how it goes, they better be down for that chaos, because they're committing. Just like we're committing to this extra egg. Oh, it's cold. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. I don't necessarily think you can over knead your dough, but you can definitely under knead it, and you want it to feel soft, because if it still feels kind of dry and hard, it won't roll out very thin. And then you're going to have like chunky ravioli, which is just so gross. You like how I like my reinforcements? I don't know. This just feels supportive. This is going to get wrapped in saran wrap. We're going to let it sit in the fridge for at least an hour. And then right before we pull it out, I'll show you how we're going to make the sauce and the filling. And we'll see what Erin has to say about that. At this point, we have our lovely assistant and multiple... Oh, I'm going to make the filling just... Erin's setting up our pasta crank. And while he does that, I'm just quickly making the filling for the ravioli, because the sauce is really the star of the show here. And the sauce is like creamy and savory. That's what really, reels them in.
Cheese, heavy cream, thyme leaves, which I don't think you have. That's thyme, and then...
Let's talk about what this sauce is made of. I followed the OG Marry Me Chicken recipe. I will have it linked in the description below. But I just adapted it for ravioli. So this is a basic cheese ravioli filling. It's ricotta, mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese, and a little salt and pepper. You mix that up really good, and then we're adding in some bonus flavors from the sauce. So fresh basil, some fresh thyme, giving that a good stir, and then of course the sun-dried tomatoes, which are really what makes this dish shine. Now we just needed to prep some more of the ingredients for the sauce, which comes together super quickly, but we decided to make it before we actually boiled the pasta, so that way it could be ready for them to plop right in afterwards. The sauce starts like this: some olive oil, some minced garlic, a bunch of fresh thyme, some red pepper flakes, and we give that a good stir until everything becomes nice and fragrant. We just don't want it to burn. Some broth gets added in, and a bunch of heavy cream. And because we're making pasta sauce, we need a little extra sauce, so I did this entire container of heavy cream. Believe it or not, this is the home stretch. The sun-dried tomatoes, you go in with some Parmesan cheese and some fresh cracked black pepper. Keep it on a simmer, and that's the sauce. If I don't get married because of this, I did something wrong as a person. We're going to need a little bit of this, so that way don't stick to this.
Yeah, man.
Pasta dough. This is the fun part. You will, if you have this sad pasta crank like we do, you are going to need 2 people. This feels good. If you want a little pro tip on how to clean your pasta maker, you just take a little piece of dough, run her through. Oh wow, that made it worse. What I have found in the past is that you need to do a smaller thing of dough than you think, because it will get incredibly long incredibly fast. Are we on 1?
I don't think so. I think we're on 9.
Are you ready?
Da, 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 da. Yeah, you might have. Oh no.
Oh, oh no. Okay. Okay.
That's just the initial one,
Okay,
I think.
yeah, that's always the hardest one, all right? We're fighting a losing battle.
One more.
You see, if it was any longer than that, we'd be having a problem.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm feeling really good about my chances because if you didn't know, I make ravioli all the time, and I like to think I'm pretty good at it, but don't judge how I flip this pasta over as a judgment of how good I am at making ravioli. When they say food is a labor of love, I think this is exactly what they mean. How you can sort of feel the love that you put into this effort of making little pockets of love in the perfect form because they're filled with cheese. And the key to a good ravioli is thin pasta. So when you put these sheets together, make sure to press the edges as thin as you possibly can. Once you're ready, they don't need too long in the water. You just need to get them nice and soft, and then directly from the pasta water into your nice warm through thickened up sauce. Just to finish them off and get them nicely coated in all of that savory sun-dried tomato goodness. I'm honestly excited just because the sauce is incredible.
Oh yeah.
So I hope you like it.
I think the sauce is my favorite part. There is also something about homemade pasta that's just good, you know?
It's got like the perfect amount of spice to it too. Aaron said no ravioli. Just lick the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm gonna marry him. Alright, babe. So this is it. Is this really marry me ravioli?
Find out on the next episode. Your cooking's top tier anyway.
I was gonna say,
But I'll marry you just for you.
Aaron tells me every day that he's gonna marry me just for me.
This is a plus.
Of course, Aaron already ate the meal, so I'm gonna do this by myself. Conclusion: the marry me recipe is dangerously effective, but results may vary. If you want to see how this experiment continues, make sure to like this video and click subscribe. Thank you as always for joining us at the table, and I will see you at the table again soon. Bye!